that the GBA Act as it stands today and as has been passed by the Assembly does not give much hope to the governance morass that Bengaluru today is in. Let me very briefly say why this is the problem. This is a classic example of maximum government, minimum governance. What the GBA essentially does, it adds another extra bureaucratic layer instead of cutting down the bureaucracy and increasing state capacity. While power should have been devolved from the top to the people, this is another exercise in re-centralisation of power in the garb of decentralisation. I want to ask another question to ourselves. The things that the GBA supposedly tries to solve, could we have done this without this exercise of 5 corporations for Bangalore? Could we have empowered ward committees better than what was in the BBMP Act? Yes, we could have done it without these 5 corporations. Has the GBA given more power to the ward committees other than increasing the number of the members of the ward committees? No. Even now, the chairperson of the ward committee holds a veto. The recommendations are, the participation is mere recommendatory and suggestionary in nature. Does it give a more empowered mayor? No. It hasn't given more powers to the mayor, it has only given us more mayors. Does it give the much neglected MPC, the constitutional mandate of the 74th Amendment, does it give it a new breath of life? No, it only buries it. Now we don't know whether the BDA is the planning authority or whether it is the GBA that is the planning authority. The problem that existed in the BBMP Act was that we had so many parastatals that were primarily state-led parastatals. Does the GBA change it? It does not. The BESCOM, BWSSB, all of these parastatals still continue to remain primarily state-driven organizations. But now you have another bureaucratic layer under the GBA. For better coordination, there was already a coordination committee led by the Chief Commissioner. Could this not have been done without these 5 corporations? Of course you could have done it. The other problem that the corporation had was not adequate devolution of finances. Does the GBA address it? It does not. Now you have created a paradox where you have 5 corporations which are now competing amongst each other for these scarce resources. You already have a failed model in Delhi where you had 3 corporations. One was a revenue surplus, the 2 did not even have enough money to spend to pay salaries in time. There was a reason why it had to be rescinded. A detailed parliamentary standing committee report exists on why it is an unfeasible model. It is pretty much the same situation here. The south and the east supposedly will have more tax revenues, while the other 3 will not have adequate tax revenues. Now, how do you bring governance closer to people? Is it by bringing more corporations and by increasing number of commissioners, number of mayors? Could we not have decentralized governance and brought more power to people by increasing number of wards in the BBMP Act? Could we not have empowered the zonal commissioners with the authority now that is being vested with the corporation commissioners? So, Bengaluru had under the BBMP a powerless ceremonial mayor. It continues to be the case in GBA, but now you will have 5 ceremonial powerless mayors. There was no adequate power, financial power, political power that was devolved on the corporation. That position continues to exist. The ward committees were a namesake. Now you will have more number of members in the ward committees, but it will still have no political power or no position to be. The parastatals are not merged. The 12th schedule mandates that the 18 core functions be actually given to local authorities, which is not done. It still remains primarily state-driven. Instead of power being decentralized to people in the real terms, it is now more centralized with the Chief Minister and the Deputy Chief Minister calling the shots. So, honestly, Srikanth, the cliche of old wine in a new bottle does not hold true here, because old wine is always better. This is some failed new cocktail in a new bottle. Failed in Delhi, and we have not learned any lessons. It's, like I said, re-centralization in the garb of decentralization. It is maximum government, minimum governance, more bureaucracy, less democracy. This is the GBA Act.